I am sorry. Are you okay?
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, 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 every day I'm every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
Hey, yo, live chat, power chat. Let me tell y'all something, man. The Matador. Ole, ole, ole.
Mozzie want the beat so he could step on it. You a C-class rapper, he's an A-class rapper. We got Jerry back with another. All I can say, stay tuned. Fire emoji, glove emoji, cigarette.
This a Bud vs. Spence performance. I couldn't ignore it. You push my buttons now, gotta cause torment. They know I'm slick like Wink, and I come at you like Foreman. Confident, but keep the underdog spirit like Norman.
The fucking beat, man.
When Jerry was screaming swing, swing, we was in the chat like what the hell this nigga thinking? Throw them quick jabs, you ain't got no time for blinking. Wanna go to war with a stat squabble you been seeking. That uppercut fashion and sting, look how he leaking. Stumbling back to his corner drunk, what he been drinking? Lying like Charlo before the Deuce say I might have to hook on this old dude and get rid of his toupee. Border wars coming up next, I'm packing the suitcase. Vega wanted the scrap, but Big Bay wanted the 2K. This ain't nothing new, man. I'm still sending bangers to the community like kinda Ben vs. Chris Eubank. I think he mad cause I'm styling on him. My footwork like Willie Pep. You better watch your steps. Body bag and put your soul to rest. I hear contender. They gon' send the stretcher in for the lender.
Hey, this release 20 seconds. His engineer can make it longer.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Twice a day, every day. Today, no different. Today, we're going to be discussing young Amari Jones, formerly with DHP Promotions, Devin Haney Promotions, now newly signed to Golden Boy Promotions and being trained by Virgil Hunter, the former trainer of last gold medalist of America, Andre Ward. So today's topic is going to be about Amari. We're also going to have him on later on in the show in about another hour. I don't know, that Zepeda interview looks like we're not going to get it. Translator flew to Guatemala. Can you believe it? So I don't know. I'm waiting for the final confirmation on the interview, see if it's dead in the water. But Amari will be on. And we're going to be discussing his case. Obviously, he just newly signed to Golden Boy Promotions. And, you know, some are calling it a bold move, having left Devin Haney and being treated on that independent route with the courtesy of having the luxury of being with a Devin Haney. So every time Haney fought, Amari fought. Some would say that that wasn't enough for a young prospect. You know, Amari right now is a undefeated middleweight, 14-0, 12 KOs. Once with Devin Haney Promotions, now joins Oscar De La Hoya's roster. But can Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy handle this career correctly? Once slammed for misleading African-American fighters. Can they make Jones a star, similar to what they've been able to do with Floyd Schofield Jr., or will he be left on a sideline like Charles Conwell, who suffered his first loss with Golden Boy? We're going to dive into this Jones and Golden Boy merger, see what it is you guys think of the opportunities that Amari Jones can get with Oscar De La Hoya's East LA roots and Golden Boy shaky track record for not really giving African-American fighters many main events. I don't even know that they've done any this year. But hey, they did just sign an Olympian by the name of Edwards. They did sign Amari Jones. Charles Conwell's over there. Kenneth Sims is a B-side main event in Chicago to Oscar Duarte. So, you got to be careful on the Golden Boy side. I think it all is a case-by-case basis, though. If you're the goods and they can get behind you, I don't think it matters where you're from. Does Amari have the fan base that can make this promoter get financially behind him? Is it a championship gamble, or is it a risky misstep here? But join me, man. Join me. We're definitely going to need some callers until the time of the interview with Amari, which will be at 5:30 West Coast, 8:30 East Coast. As I said, that Zepeda interview not looking good for the home team. I just got a message that they're still trying to get a hold of another translator. So, this is where we are at. But Amari, the Reaper Jones, a 23-year-old middleweight from Oakland, California, introduced to the boxing public by, Oakland native Bill Haney and Devin Haney, who were bringing Amari up. He's a former amateur standout. He turned pro in 2021 under Devin Haney Promotions, often fighting on Haney undercards and, trained by Bill Haney and BDB. Now, he's being trained actually by Andre Ward's former trainer, Virgil Hunter. And Jones has sparred all types of big-name fighters like Andre Ward, like Caleb Plant, Troy Isley, so many people. So it's going to be interesting to see how Amari pans out and if Golden Boy can take him to that next level. Oscar is praising him on the announcement tweet with Golden Boy, calling him the Reaper, having, I guess, a lot of good things to say, but we'll see how they actually, manage that career. Again, some would say that they did good with Floyd Schofield, but I would argue you have to give credit to Floyd Schofield's father that, obviously does a lot. He keeps his son in the mix, good or bad. Having a dad like Floyd Schofield, keeps your name in the news cycle, and that's how you remain relevant. Amari doesn't have that type of person in his corner, but the Golden Boy Post says you can't run from the Reaper. Just announced Golden Boy signs Oakland's very own knockout artist, Amari Jones, 14-0, 12 KOs. Beware of the Reaper, So this is Golden Boy's attempt to promote Amari. It's a good signing, a good signing. And we just hope that they can do the right thing with him. He is in the middleweight division. That is a division that isn't like the deepest, right? You know what I mean? So they can potentially do something with Amari here. But I don't know exactly what. So that's what you guys are here for, man. Let's talk about it. And, let's discuss, man. Let's see how far Golden Boy can take Amari Jones. Again, they have other African-American fighters they're not necessarily doing the best with. Schofield is the clear standout, right? He's their clear standout African-American fighter that I would argue is the most popular. But again, how much of that is Golden Boy Promotions versus how much of that is Floyd Schofield Sr. and their accessibility, How much of that has to do with the popularity of the Schofields? His dad doing a damn good job keeping him in the media, keeping people talking about him, you know. So all that is important. But we'll see, man. We'll see what can Oscar put together for Amari Jones and whether or not, you know, it was the right thing to do for Amari to sign to Golden Boy. Give me a minute here, trying to just get these confirmations. We're still trying to lock in that Zepeda interview. But again, you know, Golden Boy's track record, they've elevated the profile of Schofield, but we've argued that that has a lot to do with his dad. Charles Conwell's kind of fallen by the wayside. There's been no post-fight interviews, no interviews after the loss. Instead, we just know that the person that beat Conwell moves on to fight Xander Zayas. And, you know, Conwell, we just don't know what's next for him. So I don't know, man. I don't know. In terms of Conwell, though, he signed in 2022 before only twice in 2024 with little promotion. You know, obviously, again, Floyd, he's a different person. Him and his dad stay in the media. They talk about Devin. They talk about Tank. They talk about Ryan. They're getting pulled in many different directions, you know, in the interviews and keeping them in the media. So it's a little bit different. Oscar De La Hoya is an East LA focused and Latino market promoter. That's who he appeals to. So Jones, much like Kenny Sims, could end up being the B-side, A-side, right? Like Kenny Sims is going to his hometown, but he's the B-side in that fight because he is the green print, right? African-American and a Mexican is the green print according to Floyd Money Mayweather, right? So that's what they're giving Kenny in his hometown, but he's the B-side in order to get it. Sorry again, got another text here. But if you guys want to call in, feel free. So the middleweight division, man, obviously it isn't that loaded. It is top heavy. You got guys like Johnny Beck with the WBO and the IBF. Laura has that WBA. You got Hernandez, who now cannot be denied, and that's Yo-Yo. But there's not a lot of clear big names at 160. Amari Jones and Jahai Tucker do have some back and forth. You know, obviously Jahai Tucker made a joke at Amari Jones, basically saying that he fights in gymnasiums. That was before the signing. You know, Amari does sell tickets in Oakland. I don't know how many, and we'll see, is it enough for Golden Boy to take him back to that hometown and try to establish a bigger fan base. But I hear Amari has done well at the Cow Palace, if I'm pronouncing that right. And, you know, again, that was smaller promoters, not the big house of a Golden Boy, to get behind him and really drum up some interest in the young man. So we'll see, you know, does Golden Boy take him back home, or is there plans to build him on the road? Because I don't think we've seen Schofield go back home. Conwell hasn't been able to go back home. And the Olympian Edwards, I mean, it's just too soon to be thinking about going back home. But, you know, can Amari Jones, who's 12-0 and 12 KOs in 14 fights? Can he dominate that middleweight division under the guidance of Golden Boy and the matchmaking of Golden Boy? Can they take him to title contention? Golden Boy obviously gets a bad rap saying they struggle with promoting African-American fighters, but I don't know that that's just Golden Boy. Floyd Money Mayweather didn't do anything for Richardson Hitchens or Jalil Hackett or Jahan Ingram. Those guys are all black. Linnell Bellows, Lonnie B, what is that? Is it Lattimore, the guy that beat Jamel Herring? I mean, the number of black fighters that were with Floyd that didn't amount to, the levels of hypothetically even a Schofield. It's just crazy, right? But the people that get the bad rap are Oscar De La Hoya. I think that it could be argued that Floyd has done just as bad for African-American fighters. But, Will Jones soar? Will he, shine amongst that Golden Boy stable? Or is he going to stall out, man? Kind of like Conwell, But can we get some future fights with Chris Eubank Jr., Carlos Adames, John A. Beck? What can Golden Boy put together for Amari Jones? Are we going to see any cross-the-street promotion like a Chris Eubank, who's actually now tied up in the rematch with, Conor Benn? But what exactly can, Golden Boy make shake for Amari Jones in that middleweight division? And how do they go about doing that? But we'll see, man. We'll see. Not a lot of big names out there, right, to make a name for themselves. Now, they do have Shane Mosley Jr., but is Shane Mosley Jr. going to want to fight Amari Jones knowing that he is just going to be giving Amari all the shine that Amari needs to take the position of Mosley? Mosley is ranked number 2. But there is an argument that maybe Mosley doesn't want to fight Yoneli Hernandez and would instead take an Amari Jones fight just at least to make a check, right? It's like, you're the number 2. Do you really want to fight the number 1 in Hernandez that just destroyed, Kyrone Davis? Or would you take this lesser money fight with this up-and-coming contender, even though you have everything to lose and he has everything to gain off your name? A decision Shane Mosley will have to make, but that's one fight that they obviously could make, being on the same side of the street. Can they get Eddie and Matchroom to pit each other, put their stars against each other? Can we get an Austin Ammo Williams from Texas versus an Amari Jones? Maybe we can call the services of No Limit Promotions, get Michael Zafata over here. He's fought Peter Quillen. He's fought, numerous names in the sport. Maybe that's a good name for Amari Jones. I don't know what it does here in America, but just trying to throw names out there that, potentially Golden Boy could maybe match Amari with, that'll give him some sort of name recognition, some sort of clout. I could see future fights with Troy Isley, but again, that's across the street with Top Rank. So, Eric Priest, that's another 160-pounder that Golden Boy has, but he's more up their alley. He's Mexican. He's from Los Angeles, so he's right up the alley of Oscar De La Hoya. Is he really going to put him in there versus Amari Jones? And if he does, is it going to be in L.A. where Amari's in enemy territory and now the B-side? They got Ian Green, and I don't mean they Golden Boy. I mean, obviously, Don King. Can Oscar have a meeting with Don King and potentially get the services of Ian Green? He's a little on the back half of his career, just never really got that big shot. But Ian is with PG Sports as a management. He's 6 feet tall, And, you know, I think his age, let me see here. How old is Ian? Looks like 31 years old. So that's a good fight. And he's a Don King fighter, so he's not as active as most fighters. Maybe they can pick him off. So there are some names. Again, if they want to do business with Top Rank, they got the Dominican Eldy Cedeno, but why would Top Rank cross the street so soon without needing to? Can Amari Jones get a fight with Elijah Garcia, who's with the PBC? These are all the things that we need to consider because this is who we signed to. Can they get these fights? Can they make these fights? And these are not big fights. You know, fighting Eric Priest shouldn't be a big deal. Even fighting Elijah Garcia across the street on the PBC, already suffered a loss, hasn't looked good in the last two. That shouldn't be a big deal. Fighting Ian Green with Don King, that shouldn't be a big deal. Hopefully that's the case. You know, another good fight. I don't know if they know if Amari is ready for that. But Cesar Mateo Tapia, the Australian Mexican, you know, that's another tough fight that'll let us know where exactly Amari is. Cesar Mateo Tapia is 18-0 with 11 KOs. You know, that's another good fight. Maybe too risky and not enough, you know, I guess, reward. Because really, who knows him outside of the hardcore is hardcore? I mean, this is a hardcore show. But, you know, we got to introduce you to the future. But we have a poll. Amari Jones joins Golden Boy, but can De La Hoya make him a star, or will he flop like Conwell? So on our community page, let's just refresh. So we got 10% Jones will be a champ. 52% say Golden Boy will fail him. 9% say he'll be popular like Schofield. 28% say it's too soon to tell. Shout out to the optimistic 28%. That's on the community page. Here on the live show, we got a couple super chats. Pistol Parkway Mozzie, $5, first super chat of the day. He says, if they can deliver us Elijah Garcia fight, absolutely, go Golden Boy. Well, remember, Elijah Garcia is with PBC, so can they deliver you that? I don't know. Lil Zoot is South Africa champ, level $2. He says, Africa in the mother effing house emoji. South African flag emoji. African flag emoji. Nigerian flag emoji. Shout out Nigerian Nightmare. Adrian, $2. Number 2 on a pound for pound chat. He says, ask Broadway Joel to translate. He does a great job. Believe me, I did. I don't know if he's available today or already said no that he wasn't today. And then I stopped asking because they told me Golden Boy had Jane available, their publicist, and I don't know what happened. She had to travel, I guess. Matt Bent, 100, pound for pound, number 1 on the chat. Let's go. Drop a bomb for the pound for pound, number 1 chatter. On that champ level, plus a $5 super chat, he says, Cristobal shows Norman stopping Devin. Edgar stops Shiraz. Tank ruins Lamont. We shall see, my friend. We shall see. We shall see if you are correct on that one, bruv. He wants people to get stopped. I see you. And let's see here. If you're trying to call in, now is the time. Discord is available. X Spaces also available. Let me just go ahead and hit him up. Let Amari know maybe if he's available, we could just get it in a little bit early. Because I'm not seeing Zepera's people's responding. Left me in the wind. But if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It's going to help with the visibility of the show. It's going to help put this episode in the eyes of boxing fans that don't know we rock out every day, multiple times per day. And if you haven't already shared the show, go ahead and do so. That's another way to help grow it. Help grow the show and, support as well. Also a free way to support, man. So if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up or subscribe. Please do so. And, man, we're just waiting here. We're going to get that interview with Amari Jones, who just signed to Golden Boy, and try and get that backstory, man. He's training with Virgil Hunter now. 160-pound prospect / contender. Definitely some things to prove. So we'll see how everything plays out. Once again, we're talking Amari Jones. Did he make that right decision? You know, Golden Boy doesn't get the best of compliments for their management or handling of the African-American fighter. Honestly, I can't think of one outside of Floyd Mayweather Sr. that, they were truly, truly successful with. They had Deontay Wilder for some time, but didn't really take him over the top. So I'm not really sure. Again, in most recent, I guess it would be Floyd Schofield, but I keep repeating because I don't want it to go, over your head. I feel like Senior does so much for Junior that he's got to get some of the credit for the promotion and the star building that's been taking place there. But we got Trilosophy. What's up?
What up, man? How you doing?
Chilling.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't like you were talking about Deontay Wilder, like he was on Golden Boy, right? So, Errol Spence Jr. also. There's several black fighters.
None of those guys were stars
early on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they didn't make any of those guys stars.
But they were discovered by people
I guess if you want to
Oscar or like Richard Schaefer.
If you want to give them credit for discovering, I think that a person like Amari, who's 14-0, doesn't care to be discovered by a promoter. He cares to be promoted by a promoter, pushed by a promoter, backed by a promoter. Just signing me doesn't do anything.
For sure. And so my next question would be like, do you think that there's fighters or them and their management team, their parents or whoever, right, that's like helping them steer their career as far as making these types of decisions as far as who to sign with? Like they're like, oh, PBC, we're not sure like where they're at right now. Matchroom, this, you know what I mean? Like so it's like what is the outlier? Maybe Golden Boy. They see Floyd Schofield getting some opportunities here and there, just being constantly pushed on TV. You know what I mean? So, I mean, what do you think of that? Because the PBC is like, that's Al Heyman's. That was like more African American boxers, right? That was like the place to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, is it that people are unsure about the state of PBC or?
Oh yeah. Unsure about that state.
And then now Top Rank also, right? Like we're not sure like where they're gonna land as far as the TV deal.
Yep.
And Matchroom, well, we don't know. I mean, they're pretty mixed up in there too, but
Yeah, man. Again, who's the biggest fighter that you remember? That Top Rank. I mean, that Golden Boy built as an African American?
Built, I mean, I can't tell you, man. Like I said, like that thing, or like I want to say, like I guess a lot of them jumped ship and they all went to Al Heyman.
Yep.
I mean, so as far as building anybody, I mean, Floyd Mayweather was promoted him versus Oscar and several fights before that. Shane Mosley, but they didn't build a African American fighter. So
like what's your thoughts though? Things have changed. Do you think that they can actually do something?
Well, I think. I mean, also like I think they can. I mean, look. I mean, if you got, I mean, do you want a promoter that's out there, like defending you, or you know what I mean, like doing this clapback Thursdays, just being out there constantly doing stuff, right, saying shit, whether it's positive or negative or whatever. But I mean, at least like it seems like he always got your back, unless you talk shit about him. And I don't know what the hell's going on between him and Ryan right now, but I mean, is that the type of promoter you want, the type of clout you want out there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's too late. He's already signed, but yeah, that's the type of promoter you have, one that, is going to take to social media and tell his truth, I mean, I kind of value that. You can't let a guy like Ryan run over you.
Absolutely, because at least like whether he's out there talking. Like, look, if you're promoted by Oscar, he's going to be out there constantly talking to making posts, all this stuff. He's always promoting his next stars or whatever. Right?
I mean, I don't know that he's promoting in a good way with Ryan. I'm sure Ryan would rather him promote him in a better way than talking about him and calling him bipolar. But I get it.
No. I mean, not that. I mean, like when you're on his good side, you know what I mean? Like he's constantly always praising his fighters, right? Whoever's like, yeah, he's that we're setting him up to be successful and all. You know what I mean? He's always out there, always saying something. At least lately, right? He's a little off the wall, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, that might be just like that low key promoter that just at least has a deal with DAZN, is not really super involved with Riyadh season and Turkey, but still kind of involved. But maybe they're like I said, like they're seeing the whole Floyd Schofield, like, damn, he's getting opportunities, he's constantly getting fights. Okay, maybe I'll go that way, Do you think that's the leaderboard right there, or what?
The leaderboard? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, do you think like Floyd Schofield Jr. is like he's like the poster child for like this new wave of African American fighters signing to Golden Boy?
Well, we're gonna have to see, but yeah, I mean, he's the first signee. Semi-successful, African American. They're pushing the heavyweight
too, right?
He is both,
Okay. Yeah, both. Yeah.
They're pushing the heavyweight that they got, Edwards. Yeah, it's like the poll says, bro. It's too early to tell, too soon to tell. All we could go off of is the past speculation and the past, treatment that they've done with fighters in the past.
I mean, how long are these contracts? Do you have any idea of like how long? Like, are they 2 years?
Nah, everybody's contract is,
or are they by fight?
Yeah, everyone's contract is different, bro. Everyone's contract is different, so it's hard to say what exactly Amari got,
Well, seems like an exciting fighter, and he picked him up, and we'll see what happens, I guess, right? So,
word, man. Hopefully everything goes good, man, because he is a talent, And this will be his second promoter now, so you want to hope that, it at least goes better than the last time. And look, he was being paid well with DHP, but I'm sure he just wasn't getting the activity he wanted or the, security of those fights, because it was more like you're fighting whenever Dev is fighting. So for a prospect, that's not really cool. It would have been good if they would have been able to give him those 2 fights a year with Devin and also put him on 2 other fights. But, Devin is the, what do you call it? Devin is the priority right now, and maybe that's why he shifted and left.
Well, yeah. I mean, who else does Devin? I never see Devin really like out there promoting. Like it's DHP, but like I don't really see him promoting like a promoter should, I guess, as far as like any kind of prospects or any kind of signees that he has. You know what I mean? Like I never see him do that at all.
They still got another fighter, and that fighter is having a fight like in a week, and it's not getting any promotion from them either. So
why is that? I mean, especially when Bill Haney.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know why.
I mean, is Bill employed by Devin Haney Promotions, or is he just the manager?
That's what he
Haney?
says. That's what he says. He says he's certainly employed, and he consistently tells us how, DHP takes care of him, and how DHP bought him a new truck, and he's he talks like that.
He only talks about Devin, though. That's all he does is promote Devin.
For sure.
All that, but I mean, if you're going to be part of that promotion company, I mean, especially Devin too. I mean, I get it once you create a promotional company just to get a piece of that bread, right? Once like it's like you're part of this big fight, like Canelo Promotions, Cotto Promotions, or whatever, right? You become a promoter, you get a little bit more bread, right?
For sure. But you take more risks too.
But I mean, did they make that decision to be DHP just for that, just to get that extra bread?
No, because they've always been. Remember, they've always been independent.
Well, yeah, but I mean, now like you're signing fighters, but you're not promoting them. Like, you know what I mean?
Listen.
Or you have signed fighters that you're not really promoting.
That's all debatable, right? Because the argument is we do know Amari. He's getting signed to Golden Boy because of Devin. I mean, how else did you get to 14-0? What fights have you been fighting? Your international experience comes from being on Devin's cards. Devin definitely gave him exposure. He was in camp for all the Devin's fights. He went to Australia. He had the best of the best. He had James Lockhart as his nutritionist. DHP might have not promoted him, but they financially did everything that most fighters would want. None of these fighters are getting a nutritionist, and that costs money. It's not like James was making one big meal. It's 3 individual meals, He wasn't making like pasta for Devin and here you go Amari. No, he's doing a meal plan for Amari, the middleweight, and a different meal plan for Devin, the lightweight or the junior welterweight, and then Shamar Canal, the lightweight. So, yeah, I mean, I know that much. I know that DHP was paying a lot of that stuff that Devin gets that fighters in their, age bracket or fight bracket wouldn't get, like the massages and like just all that elite stuff. You know what I mean? That the more well-off financially fighters get. You don't get prospects doing recovery because they can't afford recovery.
No, and I hear that. I mean, those are great perks, right? That a fighter doesn't have to pay out of their own pocket if DHP is going to be paying for those types of services and things like that, right? But I mean, also, what good does it do if you're not really out there promoting your guys, though? You know what I mean? Like you
again, that's what we have in the show for, man. That's what we have in the show for. Because I'm certainly on the opposite side of that argument. I don't know that we would even know Amari if it wasn't for DHP, right? Like, I didn't know him. He's a standout amateur, but I didn't know him. I heard of him because there's Omari and Amari, so there was always a confusion on which Jones was it.
Ah, that's right. The O and the A. Yeah, two different ones. Sure. Okay.
So, for anybody to say they know him, maybe you did. But I did not.
I did not.
I did not
I did
because
not,
it was
man. No.
it was just like, which one is he?
No, for sure. No, for sure, man. Let's see. Maybe we get Bill Haney on the show. Do I have to say it 3 times? Maybe he appears?
Maybe. I mean, he's going to do the normal, Amari's a great fighter. Amari's a great fighter. Shout out to Amari. I hope Golden, those dudes don't have hate in their blood because, I would hope once you that rich, how can you be mad? But let me get to some other callers. Thank you for rocking out with me. H-Town, what up?
What up, Ness? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I mean, everybody don't want to point out the Floyd, but I mean, without Golden Boy, Floyd would have been Money Mayweather. I mean, the Haddon fight, the Cotto fight, the Juanel Marquez fight. All those major fights that everybody knows were with Golden Boy. And you can't really blame him about Earl and Wilder because we all know that he didn't get a chance to take them all the way to the top. We got to know them because of Golden Boy, but then Schaefer and them stole the whole roster. So we can't really fault him for that. I mean, we wouldn't know Schofield Jr. if it wasn't for Golden Boy. So they do some promotion of black fighters, man. They promote their black fighters. There's no bias there.
I mean, you talking about Floyd Mayweather, bro. Like,
yeah, but Floyd was Pretty Boy. He wasn't Money, bro. You have to understand. There's a difference.
But Champ,
you got Pretty
you're
Boy.
Trying to defend. You're trying to defend the criticism with a fighter from 30 years ago. Like, people criticizing Oscar for not being able to promote black fighters today, and you're trying to answer that question with a retired fighter. It don't make sense.
But that's what I'm telling you with the whole Earl and the whole Wilder thing is they got pretty much stolen away. So he never got the chance to actually make them.
We never say that about Bob. We just say that they left Bob. Oscar left Bob. Floyd left Bob. Cotto left Bob. Mikey left Bob. Bud left Bob. Shakur left Bob. So the same is for Oscar. Earl left Bob. Deontay left Bob. Floyd Money Mayweather left Earl. I mean, Oscar, Earl left Oscar. Those people left Oscar because they didn't do what Earl is on record saying. You don't promote black fighters. I could pull that up.
Man, they could say what they want, but we wouldn't know who they were without Golden Boy. I mean, there was nobody discovering these guys and bringing them up. Golden Boy is known for
you're talking about discovery, not stardom.
Yeah, but that's how you bring them up from stardom. That's how you start a star. Star just doesn't come out of nowhere. They're built. Hey, but let me change the subject a little bit. Hey, nasty work, bro. You trying to put that goddamn curse on Brian Norman Jr. live on the show, bro. Nasty work, dog. You doing everything you can to get an edge on for Devin. I see you. I caught that. That's nasty work, Ness.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, trying to put that damn rank curse on Brian Norman Jr., bro.
I was just teasing because I knew y'all would find it funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's dangerous magic, man. Next thing you know, you're gonna have Floyd Schofield trying to hypnotize Devin for you. We don't need that.
Look, specifically in a series of posts. Come on, bro. Spence addressed Oscar De La Hoya's lack of promotion for black fighters. Come on, bruv.
Man, hey, man. We wouldn't know them without him, man. The same thing with Bud. We would have known Bud without, where he was at, man.
Don't forget Rashidi Ellis left too, bro. Rashidi Ellis left as well. That's what I'm saying. Bro, so many dark-skinned fighters that he couldn't do good with.
I don't know. I don't see it like that, man, because I wouldn't know them without Golden Boy. And of course, yes, they did become bigger stars after Golden Boy, but once you already start building the car, man, and it's ready to race, I mean,
He
like the
said
car's
in
built.
one
Now you just take him
post,
to the races.
he said in one post, Oscar talking about exposing somebody. Rashidi left because he know how you handle black fighters.
So then Al Heyman handles Hispanic fighters then.
I mean, look
So I
at
mean,
Leo. Leo is the best he's ever been. Abner is the best he's ever been. Canelo told you he wish he could have started his career with Al. So yeah, I don't know, man. You got to try harder.
we all know that's a spite of Oscar, bro. How you gonna just like put Oscar in
Oh
that
my
thing
God.
like Golden Boy hasn't done nothing for boxing, man? That's crazy. You
I
just making it seem like Oscar doesn't promote at all.
You saying that. I said Oscar has a bad track record with African American fighters, and I pulled up one of the most popular that became a welterweight star without Oscar and Earl Spence, criticizing Oscar over Rashidi. Then he had another one that said at Oscar, and you didn't know shit about me
Okay,
or
Ness, let me ask you a question.
you didn't know shit about me or other young guys coming up. You fucked up introducing us every time you was just the face, okay? So he's already harboring feelings because when Oscar would introduce them when he's on the podium, which I always say, he makes mistakes. He repeats himself. He's not as good as Eddie. So what is Earl saying? You wouldn't even know how to promote them because you didn't know them. You didn't know them. You can't change what Earl is saying, my bro.
I mean, I wonder if Al Heyman was a white man, if they would have been going over there. You know, we all know that this was the time everybody playing the whole code game. Where if you weren't going with a black promoter, then
Look at
you're
that.
not on code.
Again, in
Via Wilder,
March. In March.
via Wilder, via all the black fighters. You know that you need to be over here.
Look,
I don't know, man.
Spence replied to Oscar in March of 2019 because Oscar asked to promote him. He said, "You don't treat black fighters well, brother."
Yeah, I guess getting rich with Oscar don't. You know, he's treating people bad, bro.
Hey,
That's
man.
wild. That's wild to me, man. I guess that's whatever, man.
Hey,
It's a
man, I'll
narrative to
tell you
you,
this.
bro.
If it's a narrative, why Tevin Farmer, former world champ, only got 125,000? We was just
And
laughing at Brian Norman for getting 170,000, right? That's what Boots was doing, laughing at him. You talking about a former world champ getting 125,000.
but you're also talking to people on the stage of the career where they're building. You're talking about like already when they've already been
Tevin
built
ain't
up and they're
building.
on the next step.
Tevin ain't
Like
building, and
Oscar's
don't forget
taking
the
them
champ.
from the first step.
Don't forget
Like
the
you know, you
champ.
got somebody on step one, Ness, and then they leave on step five. Then you're like, oh, why are they more successful now? Because they already went through step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by the time they go to the next promoter. That's wild.
Listen, hold on.
It's just like Canelo saying stuff about Oscar, man. He's already gone through all those steps with Oscar. And then, of course, that's why he's a bigger name. Because if he wouldn't have the first steps, man, then they wouldn't have been on step 10.
Champ, I got to get to some other callers. You just emotional. I get it. Lamont Roach is a former champ. Lamont Roach is a current champ that Oscar De La Hoya used to promote. Earl Spence is a pound for pound 3-belt champ that Oscar De La Hoya used to promote. Deontay Wilder. The list of African American fighters that he used to promote and didn't take to the heights that they are at now is very long and sad. You know, I get y'all want to defend it, but bringing up Floyd Money Mayweather, how is that a defense? We're talking about, can you promote an African American fighter today, now? What are you going to do for them today, now? Today, now, I see Kenny Sims in his hometown as a B-side. That's what I see. That's what his promoter did for him. I see Charles Conwell lost to a Mexican in a Mexican location. That's what I see. You know what I'm saying? Now, I get it. Yeah, you need an African American to make the green print, but can we build him up? Does he get to bring a Mexican to his hometown? Because Amari Cassell in, the Cow Palace, is he going to be able to headline in Oakland? If he loses in his hometown, then that's different. But Charles Conwell lost in a cheering arena of, Mexican fans, not in Ohio. Big Money, what up?
Yo, what up, Ness?
I'm chilling, bro.
So we talking about this kid Amari Jones. To your point, man, I don't really know the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm looking at this thumbnail, I don't even recognize him. Like when I had to look up his box record, and I was like, oh, okay, I remember seeing this kid with Devin. In the thumbnail, he looked like one of them dudes that Leo DiCaprio had fighting in his living room in Django Unchained. You know what I'm saying? So he looked totally different right here. But building him up, maybe Oscar's on a new path, bro. I get that Oscar wasn't always that good when it came to handling black fighters. Maybe he changing. Maybe things is so. Let's try and build. Let's be on some tree shit. Shout out to trees. Let's be on some tree shit. Let's try and build this fighter. You know what I'm saying? So he ranked 13 in the IBF right now. He moved up a spot because Chiron dropped out. Now,
Yeah, he
the first
13.
things first. Yeah, he 13. We got to get him. I think he's been doing 8-rounders, bro. We got to get him in a 10-round fight. I don't see him fighting nobody in the top 15 in a 10-rounder right now because I think it'll be too much. You know what I'm saying? Like he might have a
he
shot.
got these 8-rounders because of the money. It costs more to have a 10-rounder.
Yeah, well, I mean that's true. That's true. And damn, I guess what y'all was saying was true. Maybe Devin and them wasn't really too focused on him, which makes sense if that's the reason why he left. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe he needs this. He wants to step up. He tired of doing 8-rounders. He wanted and Oscar got relationships. I know people. I heard somebody in the chat was like, "Yo, why go there to Golden Boy? Because he only got one dude over there at 160." But Oscar has relationships with Eddie. You know what I'm saying? He can always go to Turkey if he needs to. But truly, they need to build him up. And even though Oscar don't rock with like Al, right? He don't really rock with Al, but keep in mind, Al ain't at the control board no more. Louis DeCubas is at the control board. You dig what I'm saying? So it's the PBDC over there now. Not PBC, but PBDC, Colo Suave. So you can get some good fights. You looking over there? Is Sergey Deverenchenko over there still at PBC?
He would keep Conley. I'm sure they could use him, but Sergey's coming back. He's shaking out on a James Payne card in Tennessee or Nashville. Okay. You're getting a little shakeout.
All right, so how about you get like Brian Castano? You can bring him up, but that might be a little too tough. Maybe.
I mean, he been inactive, but yeah, I think that's way too tough for a dude who's been fighting 8-rounders.
What about Jamonte Clark?
Okay, yeah. That's certainly a tough fight, though. Jamonte gave everybody a tough fight, specifically Fundora.
Yeah.
But it's a tough fight. It's a good fight. If you Golden Boy, I would only do that fight if I'm Golden Boy and it's like, all right, we signed this dude, but we not playing no games. We want to know what we got. It's either you sink or swim right now. You either pass this test or we not wasting no more money with you.
Well, hell, if you want to do that, wake up Jose Benavidez Jr.
Yeah, I don't know. Can they get him? Jose Sr. is pretty loyal to Al. But Derevyanchenko is shaking out on this July 1st card, so he fight tomorrow. Shit. He taking on Jeremy Ramos.
Oh, all right.
Tuesday night fight. Damn,
on a Tuesday.
They say we could watch it on YouTube. Oh, well, that's the weigh-ins, maybe. I don't know about the fight.
Shit, if I could watch it, I'll put it on. Wow. I wouldn't mind. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you got to try to build this kid up. It's going to take something because he's not ready for nobody in the top 15 right now. And you know, Janet Beck is he's the head of the pack. He's the leader of the pack over there. He got the middleweight championship at the IBF. But he's not ready for guys like Emma Williams. He ain't ready for Shane Mosley Jr. You know what I'm saying? He ain't ready for these guys. So he needs some building. Maybe Oscar got a plan. You know, I don't want to shit on it and be like, he ain't gonna go nowhere. Because truthfully, if he went over to PBC, he might be sitting on his hands too. You know what I'm saying? And right now, Oscar might be his best option. And again, Oscar does have connections where he can make these fights. He can talk to he got his relationships with Eddie and guys like that. Maybe something to shake for him. What about Chiron is that's too dangerous.
Yeah, nah, we need some prospects. You see, that's what Golden Boy gonna do. They gonna give him some tough Mexicans we never heard of to give him rounds. But, you know, I don't know if that's gonna build him. Like, it'd be good if you get him these tough Mexicans in his hometown of Oakland and letting him build his hometown fan base, but they gonna give him random Mexicans on random cards and random locations, not helping him build fan base. But let me get to some other callers. Phone lines is lit. I do appreciate y'all rocking out with me. It looks like Zepeda is now back on, but this is crazy. Like, before 5 o'clock, they say he's back on. He didn't have the link. Now they got him the link. Man, we almost at 5:20. He ain't jump on. I guarantee I'm going to be having both of them on at the same time, bro. This is why I hate interviews, bro. Because show business is so crazy. It's like, it's so difficult to get someone on a schedule. Voo rants? Voo rants? Voo rants. Voo rants. Voo rants.
Oh, what's up, bro? How you feel?
Straight.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the topic. The only time I ever seen this kid was around Devin, But this is a good thing, In my opinion, this is the way that boxing should be. You know what I mean? Like it's wide open. It's a lot of money. These guys are independent contractors. They're not team. This is not a team sport. This is an individual sport. So these guys, you're a prize fighter. You're fighting for a purse. So you got to go where the money is at. That's the purpose of fighting. You're not going to pass the ball to somebody else. No one else can get in the ring and fight for you. So if you are going to fight, you got to go where it's the most lucrative because you don't have that much time. At the end of the day, it's Devin Haney promotion. Devin Haney. So it's going to always be centered around him as long as he's active.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure that the Haneys, they probably talked to him about it. They might have set this up and said, yeah, that's a good move. If he can give you that type of money, that'll be the best play for you. You know what I mean? They're businessmen at the end of the day. And I wish you could have brought me up like 2 callers ago when he said there's no bias there and all that. We're never going to forget about those racist emails from Golden Boy. Never. We're never going to forget about a lot of people. It slipped their mind out. This was like
those
12 years ago.
Those wasn't their emails. Y'all got to stop that. We know the facts. That was a contributing writer. Like I could get people, like you could email me and be like, yo, Ness, I've been writing. I wrote on Boxing News 24, or I just have a passion for writing. Here goes a sample of my writing. Can I contribute to your site? And I'm going to say, yeah. Why? Because I need content for my site to keep it active. That dude, you got to do your research. That dude was not a paid employee, and he wasn't an employee. He was a contributor to the ring that was owned by Oscar. Like, bro, dudes be stretching because that's what sells, negativity.
No, not me.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying people that made content about that. Unless you could give me something that I could pull up right now and prove that it was an employee and not a contributor, which doesn't get paid, isn't an employee, and is essentially another word for voluntary.
What's the Richard guy? It slips my mind. Was it Richard something? I
Richard
thought that was
Schaefer.
his.
Richard Schaefer was.
Richard Schaefer, that wasn't him?
Say again?
I said that wasn't his emails.
Hell no. You mean emails to Richard? Maybe it wasn't. It wasn't
Yeah,
Richard emailing.
No, my bad. I totally apologize. Then I thought for all these
You
years.
may feel like it's your time, but it's
Huh?
not your time.
No, I still hear you. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. If y'all can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you now. You were sounding pretty muffled.
Oh, my bad. No, I said I apologize. Just on the record that Bobo Rats apologize. I always, for all these years, I thought that those were Golden Boy employees sending those racist emails back and forth, talking about what are they talking about, nigger and monkey and all that type of shit. I thought that was them. I apologize.
Hell no. Them motherfuckers would have had a lawsuit, bro. Believe that.
Against who? Because they were talking about Al Heyman. So Al ain't gonna sue him. He ain't thinking about him. From what I seen,
I'm sure Al would have sued him. Remember that they sued Al and got paid. Al had to settle out of court with Oscar and Bob.
But how can I sue you if you just call me a name?
Defamation.
Really,
What you mean? He go more history. Defamation. Pacquiao sued Floyd Money Mayweather and his dad for over $100,000 and won.
Yeah, but Floyd was making allegations. You know what I mean?
Defamation. It's called defamation.
I'm with you, Ness. I'm gonna take you at your word. I don't know. You do this every day. You do this for a living. So
no, listen.
I always thought
I'll be wrong too, but I just know from what I remember, because I lived that shit. That dude was not a employee of Golden Boy. I mean, I'm sure with AI, you can even pull that shit up. That shit don't get because everybody talked about it on Twitter.
Yeah, I was mad at Bernard Hopkins for standing around. That's me then. I didn't do my homework. I just went on what I saw.
We gotta be mad. We gotta be mad at Bernard for more than standing around. Bernard should be shamed for not signing Boots Ennis. Bernard should be shamed, for the numerous Philadelphia prospects that don't get any light, don't get signed to Golden Boy. Bernard should have been an extension of the quote-unquote African-American side of Golden Boy. I was so proud of Bernard when he signed Derek Wilson a bunch of years ago. It was like many, many years ago. I'm talking 10 or 12 years ago. The kid ain't had no pop, but he was fiery. And, Bernard did that. Bernard also, gave Lil B-Hop mentorship, right? Remember, his name was Lil B-Hop because of Bernard, but that was like one in so few in between. Like, something is up with B-Hop that he's lost the connection with the people. Like, why motherfuckers don't want to sign to B-Hop and Golden Boy the way they want to sign to Mayweather Promotions? The way they want to sign to Oscar. Mexicans around the world want to sign to Oscar. Even African Americans want to sign to Oscar, like we talking about. Why the fuck don't nobody want to sign to B-Hop? Because he's lost that connection. He something he's not doing. It's something he's not
really
doing.
Relatable. He's not really relatable. To be honest with you, one of my favorite fighters, but he's not really relatable. He doesn't translate to the black community. You know what I'm saying?
He's supposed to be out there finding black talent, giving motherfuckers the opportunity that he didn't get. You understand? And he is not. Like, you gonna tell me you got Charles Conwell and you not out here being Eddie Hearn for Charles Conwell? Why the fuck Eddie could do 1,000 interviews to big up Berlanga or big up Shakur or big up Devin, whoever he signed, whoever he promoting at the time. Look how big he made Richardson Hitchens after Floyd Mayweather didn't do nothing with him. You understand? But B-Hop not doing that. And he's certainly not doing that for the African-American fighter. Like, motherfuckers love to talk about Golden Boy don't know how to promote the black fighter. Where the fuck is B-Hop? How you a managing member? How you part of this promotional company? How you get a percent in the company? You consider one of the faces, but like, where is the mentorship at? Where's like this clique of African-American fighters that's up under B-Hop? They not there.
100. And that's the whole reason why he he joined that's the why I feel like they brought him in, because he's supposed to be relating to these black fighters. He's not related. It's he holding them hostage. Like, what are you around for? You're not doing nothing. You don't do nothing. You just show up at the press conference and just go into your weird B-hop rambles about nothing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. I appreciate you letting me speak, though.
All right. Vega. Vega. Yo. What in the world? Vega. Jorge. Mexico.
Yo, what up, Nash?
What up?
Yo, I've been getting through. That's fucking awesome. I've been going through every day now. We're talking about B-Hop, right?
Nah, it's the Golden Boy newly signed Amari Jones.
Oh, shit.
And how
I don't really
Golden
know.
Boy is going to do with this African-American fighter.
Oh, yeah, since that's why Bernard Hopkins came up. Okay, I get it now. Well, I don't really got much on the subject. I seriously just tuned in right now. But I didn't. That's why I said I didn't think I'd get through that fast. But anyways, shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to all the panel. I was just calling just to do my daily thing.
All right.
But I'm gonna stay up listening, homie. Shout out, Ness. Show support.
Somebody on Twitter said, hella weird question. Okay. What is the last star they built? Don't be afraid to talk what's in your face. Al in the Bay.
Yo, what's up? Hey, area. Yeah, man. I think this is his only opportunity at a big promotion. I think that's why he signed with them. I don't think there was any other big promotion that was looking at him. So he signed with whoever is there. Who's checking in for him. Floyd Schofield, they starting to build him up a little bit. Not too much like how they do the Mexican fighters, but I'm not about to get in this racial battle, but yeah. He just gonna have to do what he gotta do and learn how to promote himself. The best promotion is self-promotion. I don't believe in all promotion is good. All publicity is good publicity, but self-promotion is the best promotion because if you can sell yourself, it don't matter who you sign with. They just got to get the fights. And so I think sometimes Golden Boy is kind of like Top Rank. They can get you going, but then you got the.
I'm gonna bring you back, Al. I think that's the guess. Amari, what's going on, champ?
That's what's happening.
Chilling, man. Congratulations, first and foremost, on the big
Appreciate
signing.
it. Appreciate it.
Your camera shut off.
You, you can hear, you can
I can hear you, yeah.
shut off. I don't know how to get it back. Should I hang
Oh,
up?
nah, you good, you good, you good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
So,
man. It's been a long time coming. You know what I mean?
for sure.
Should I feel like that at least?
So we basically, doing the show around you and your signing to Golden Boy, man.
For sure.
What was your thoughts? Obviously, when you got the phone call, were there other options? How did you end up with Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy?
I mean, it was a process that took a while. You know what I mean? It wasn't just something that just fell up on the table. Um, Man, honestly, I was meeting with a whole bunch of like people, promoters, managers, having talks with them, and it was more so like it was more so when I got to Oscar and them, that was the best option on the table. You know what I mean? And it only made sense for me and where I was at in my career.
And who's your manager at the moment?
Rick Marigan.
Oh, okay. How long? So
Yeah.
was that before or after the Golden Boy?
No. So Rick's the one that got me to deal with Golden Boy. So I already knew Rick. I've been knowing Rick since I was in the amateurs. He's from Fresno, not too far, and so Rick, Rick always been interested in me, but I took the other route and was going with Devin and them. So you know, once everything happened with me and Dev and stuff, and I stopped being promoted by them, I went over and was talking to Rick and everything. And yeah, so Rick brought me over to Golden Boy. I met with Eric and Oscar, and like I said, it's made the most sense.
Man, Eric and Oscar. So no B Hop. He wasn't there.
Nah, B Hop. Nah, I didn't meet with B Hop. I actually. So I went to Saudi. When I was over there training with my boy Josh Bawasi when he
Okay.
fought Kellen Smith, and Virgil fought. So Rick manages Virgil Ortiz. And so Virgil fought in that same card, and so it's just all aligned. And I don't know where B Hop was exactly, but I met with Eric and Oscar had ran into each other.
You breaking up a bit. Any way you could connect to the Wi-Fi or disconnect from it? I don't know. You broke up.
Uh, I just turned it off right now.
Okay. So what you were saying?
Is it better?
Yeah.
No, I was saying, yeah. When I was out in Saudi, I had met with Eric,
It's
me,
breaking up
Eric,
again.
and Rick,
Maybe
and
maybe
even
jump
Virgil.
out. Maybe jump out, jump back
Okay.
in. So it could reconnect. I don't know.
Okay. Let's see.
All right.
Let me see.
Bear with us, ladies and gents. We're dealing with the internet, as you know. If you haven't already hit that thumbs up, please do so. But look, that was telling. No B Hop again. See what I'm saying? Yeah, his service bad. It ain't even connecting. You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you freezing up. You was doing better outside. That building must be made of concrete.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back outside. I'm gonna go back
All
outside. Yeah.
All
You can
right.
hear me now?
Yeah. So that's a good look, man. Rick Milligan is certainly very experienced. He's done a phenomenal job for Jose Ramirez, for Virgil
Yeah, for
Ortiz.
sure.
So that's good. Now I see the connection with Golden Boy.
Yeah.
Were there any other promoters, or that's what Rick had, so you didn't even worry about it?
I mean, Rick, we talked to some other ones, some other promoters, but I was also, had some talks with Jay Prince and Top Ring, of course. Uh, I tried to, we tried to get a meeting with Eddie. It didn't really align, but like I said, I'm an American fighter, and I'm not discrediting anything that other promoters have done or anything like that, but I just felt like for me at the moment, Golden Boy was the best option.
So now they've always gotten the knock that they don't know how to promote African American fighters. How do you think
No,
it's
for
going to be
sure.
different for you? I mean, even
Um,
Devin had an issue, right? Allegedly, he said he wasn't paid on time.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak on another man's pockets or what they got, but I know my work speaks for itself. So my work can promote itself. So all I need is a platform and to be able to showcase my talents. And like I said, that's gonna do all the talking.
Now, from
I
what
think
I
and honestly, I think they're doing a pretty good job with Kid Austin. You know what I mean?
that is the one that
And
we brought up, but that's the
yeah, and
only one
also
right now.
I mean, what other ones have they had like
Charles
as
Conwell.
star material? Charles is a
Oh,
good fighter. Charles is a good fighter. You know what I mean? He's experienced. He's a good fighter. But everybody knows is good fighters, and there's guys that's stars. You know what I mean? There's a fine line. So star quality. Does Charles have star quality? I don't really know the guy personally, but from what I seen, he's a good fighter. I haven't really seen him never really talk a lot. You know what I mean? So you need guys with those type of qualities.
for sure. So I gotta ask you, what what are your star making qualities?
Um, Man, I'm young, I'm handsome. You know what I mean? I can talk good. I fight good, of course, and I feel like that's really all you need. You know what I mean? I got good charisma. People say I don't know, but people tell me that all the time. But yeah,
So I
what you
actually,
think, Nesh?
well, I like the matching with you and Mirgan, man. He does such a good job building people in their hometown. So
Yeah,
it gives me hope that you guys can do
no, for sure.
something in your hometown. I hear that you sell well in Cow Palace and things like that. Like,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that a conversation that you guys already had, or is that something that
no,
you're
absolutely.
gonna do later once you prove yourself?
No, I mean it's a conversation that we already had because I feel like I didn't did shows out here in the Bay Area, and I didn't show, so it was already something that was brought up. So I just feel like Golden Boy is a California promoter, and I don't see why they wouldn't be more than interested in building a show around me here in Oakland, especially with Rick behind it. Rick's been known for throwing shows in Fresno for Jose, big shows. You know what I mean? Texas for Virgil, so. It's it wouldn't be hard to throw one here in Oakland for me.
So I don't know if you consider him your nemesis, but every good fighter needs one. That's how you get a pay-per-view because
Yeah,
someone wants to pay to see you fight fighter B. You and
yeah,
Jaha have had some words. Jaha recently said that
yeah,
you fight in gyms. He just went ahead and did his biggest fight with someone you know well, right?
yeah,
Don't you know Truck
yeah,
well?
yeah. Of
What
course.
did you think of that fight? Did you expect it to go that way?
Um, I knew it was gonna be a good fight. I tell you that. I knew the fight was gonna kind of depend on what truck shows up. You know, I've seen Truck, handle opponents a lot better than him, and I seen him, beat guys way more difficult than him. But I don't know what Truck's training is like. When he's with Calvin or back home, so I can't speak on that. But you know, tats off to Jahai. He beat a good opponent. You know what I mean? That's it's not too much you can say on that fight.
Would you say that's the best opponent he's faced and beat till date? Or do you think Nicholas Floss is the best opponent and that he's also he beat
Uh,
Jaha?
what was Nicholas Floss's record?
Well, Nicholas Floss has 2 losses already. He's just
I mean, around that time.
oh, I would have to look it up.
I mean, on paper, you can say truck, or you could say truck, honestly, but I don't know. It's kind of a toss up because I don't know who Nicholas Floss has fought, who he's beat. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know like Chuck. You can go off Chuck's name because of who he already is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It just all depends on how you want to go about it.
For sure. I got some questions from the people I would like to get
Yeah.
to. Let me pull these up here.
Oh, baby, you got the Barbie. Other side,
So what
bro.
did they give you a date though, champ? Like, do you know when you're gonna be
S-
debuting with them?
I'm hearing sometime around like September maybe, but nothing set in stone yet. We're just waiting. I'm just waiting for a day. But I've been in the gym, staying ready. So
All
I'm
right.
just whenever they say.
Do you think? Have you checked out the Golden Boy fighters they got in your division? Have you heard of
I
Eric
know.
Priest?
Yeah. I've heard of him. I actually know his trainer. I just seen him on the fight on Saturday, and I told his trainer, his trainer is actually from Oakland, and I told his trainer that I hope we can still be cool once I beat your boy. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, he's like, that's not gonna happen, but we still gonna be cool, man. It's all love. I'm just like, all right, they say that now, but when it happens, and how I beat him is just gonna be, you don't know. They're not gonna know what to say.
Word. I
Yeah,
got.
I'm not gonna lie though. Eric Priest reminds me of Ryan Garcia though. I
That's
don't
what
know
I
why,
said.
but
I said that was the Golden Boy's new Ryan Garcia. I said
yeah,
that,
like
bro.
the pretty boy model, like type thing. Like, that's reminding me of him.
He
But I
actually
never really
did
seen him
good
fight.
though.
Is he good?
Oh, you ain't see his last fight?
Nah, I don't really. I
Yeah,
never really
yeah, he
watched him.
did good, man. I swore up and down that he was about to get upset because he fought Louis Cubas Aries. I know you know him and sparred him. Have you sparred
Oh
Louis?
yeah, I never sparred Cuba, but I heard about him though.
Yeah, I saw he was about to get upset. You know what I'm saying? He never been on
Oh
that level,
yeah,
and then I seen him struggle before, but he put it together. He actually looked good versus Cuba, man.
yeah. I mean, isn't Cuba like old now? Can't really. Nah, for real. Can't really say
He
that.
he definitely on the back half of his career for sure.
Yeah.
Yo, boxing. I got Quest out of VA. He says, "What's up, champ? Blind rank these 5 video game franchises. So it's
Yeah.
5 video games. You gotta, one is the best one. So Madden.
One.
All right, you don't know what the rest are. You sure? You understand the rules?
Positive.
Okay.
100%.
GTA,
2.
Mortal Kombat,
4.
Fight Night,
3.
2K NBA.
5.
All right. Yo, you the first one didn't struggle. They be struggling with them damn blind
I'm not gonna.
rank questions.
I'm not a like that one was kind of easy because like I'm not really like a video game guy, but football my favorite sport, and the go-to game with me and my homies will play and bet with each other is Madden for sure. We all play football, so we're gonna play either like Madden, NCAA, then maybe 2K or something, but for sure Madden's like the top one. We're gonna put some money on the floor, push-ups, whatever.
I got Francis from San Francisco. If you could train and spar with any fighter, active or retired, to pick their brain and learn from them, who would it be? Best wishes, champ.
Andre Ward.
But you don't get that already?
I do. I mean, I guess you could say a wish come true, right?
Word. Wait, so he
Yeah.
sparred with you?
Nah, I never sparred with Dre. I never sparred. We
Oh.
supposed to though, but Dre's definitely we didn't have some shadow boxing for 20 minutes straight, and I didn't pick his brain a little bit about some things, but no, that's about it. We never sparred. We supposed to though. I'm gonna actually hit him up and see if we can still get some rounds in.
Nice. How's it been, man? I know we touched on it in the past on the last interview, but how is the I guess chemistry with you and Virgil going?
I mean, we float like water together. You know what I mean? We go hand in hand for sure. Like Verge got a lot of game, and I just soak it all in. So Pause. That sounded kind of wrong.
How did that? Was it easy to convince him? Because he's certainly very picky with who he trained. He doesn't just
Yeah,
train
for sure.
anyone.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was when I first met Verge. I thought it was gonna take a while to kind of convince him, but as soon as I brought it up to him, Verge off the rip was like I ain't really into picking up any new fighters. He was like, but he was like, you somebody I would take like no questions.
So I got Mozzie.
Verge always kind of like compares me to Dre in a sense. I'm not gonna lie. He tells everybody, man, that's the closest fighter I had since Andre Ward.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Because I know he thought very highly of Buatsi too.
No, for sure. And I'm not gonna say he doesn't think highly of those guys or anything like that, but I think just way my style and how athletic I am, I compare a lot to Dre. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got Mozzie that says, congrats on the new deal. Hoping to see you on the big stage a lot more. Is Elijah Garcia on your list?
Of course, Elijah. Then he had a loss, but he came back and won. And hopefully he gets him back on the right track. But definitely, I love to fight Elijah. That's somebody I grew up with in the amateurs, and I know down the line somewhere, we can make a good payday together. So man, hats off to Elijah and his pops and everything too. I know his dad, like I said, from the amateurs.
Ali and Dago says, what up, Amari? Who do you got winning, Canelo or Crawford?
Man, that's a tough one right now. I honestly, I got a 50-50 right now. I'm not gonna say who. I want Crawford to win though, but I don't know. I want him to win.
Z Pacino, well, I'll get your prediction later on that. Z Pacino, St. Louis, congrats on the new signing. I hope in due time Oscar can get you a home fight in the Bay Area. When you're watching an old fight or watching a live fight, what's the first thing you look for?
Like, I mean, I wish he could elaborate on that, like as far as skill or just anything, like you know what I mean? Because
Give us both.
I mean, depending on how old, I typically look at like the fighters is like they stance and if we're going back to like Sugar Ray Robinson or that era, I'm gonna go towards like how they stance was, how their demeanor was when they come in the ring. That's probably like the first thing I recognize, and then like if we're going up a little more towards like Roy or pretty much anything after Muhammad Ali until like now, like if I go watch something, I typically first thing I recognize is like the outfit or the style. That's kind of like where I get inspiration from my outfits.
How's the international fights been, bro? You've been fighting in a lot of different countries, man. That's not
No,
as
it's been
common
different.
for most American fighters. It seems like you fought in about 4 different countries now, right?
Yeah, nah, yeah. I fought. I mean, I don't really count. I fought Mexico once. I don't really count that honestly, but
Really?
Australia twice. Yeah, I don't. It's Mexico. I walked over the border and was back in the United States. I don't really, that don't really count. I don't really count, but yeah, nah. Australia. I thought it was gonna be like a big drastic difference, but like once I got over there, it was kind of like similar to the states, especially like San Francisco, like where the city we was in, Melbourne. It looked just like San Francisco, so it was like it wasn't really like too different. But Africa was like totally different. Like it was totally different.
How'd that fight come about? Was that already with Mirgan or was that
No,
before?
no. So I forgot exactly when we had talked, but I don't know if you remember. I was supposed to fight there in December, but my boy Sule Siscoho, he
Yeah.
broke his hand or he hurt his hand. I'm not saying he broke. He hurt his hand, and then he got postponed. So then I didn't have a date or anything lined up, so I just stayed with that date just to get a fight in, and yeah, so that's how I was able to get put on that show in Africa.
How was it? Did you deal firsthand with Rick Glazier for that fight?
With who?
The matchmaker.
Oh, I don't know who that
Nah.
is. Nah.
Okay. Not interesting. He's listed as the matchmaker.
Okay,
And
yeah, I don't know who that is.
And do you think it's because the promoters and the finances, or is it more you and your team? You're on your 5th 8 rounder. Why you think you never had a 10? Is it just no opportunity? Is it the promoters not wanting to pay for a 10-round fight? Like, why you think,
Nah, I mean, honestly, I took my 5th 8 rounder because this is my first fight with Virgil. Um, it was supposed to be like I haven't fought in like 9 months or something like that, 10 months maybe. And so it was just like, let's get our feedback wet, get back in the groove. Like I said, get comfortable with Verge. And then, maybe hopefully the next one, inshallah, that there will be a 10 rounder or like, something like that. But I'm pretty confident that the next one will most likely be a 10 rounder.
do you think you'll ever fight Amari again in the pros, or
Um, what weight is he at? 47?
I don't even know, bro. I don't know. Wasn't
Hey,
he
I'm not
signed
too
to
sure.
Golden Boy at one point? Oh, this
Nah,
the
he
one with
came out of
Matchroom. He the Matchroom. He with
yeah.
Matchroom.
Yeah,
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 yeah. He was
yeah, yeah,
Matchroom,
yeah.
but
From
but
Orlando.
yeah,
That's right.
I mean, if in the future, if we're aligned, maybe. But I mean, he's at a whole different weight class right now. I don't know.
Yeah, he probably gonna fight at 47. His last fight was at 50, and he's way behind you in
Yeah,
terms of development, unless he
yeah.
speeds it up.
I mean, but he's an Olympian, so they push them guys pretty fast. But I don't know what Matchroom has planned for him. Like I said, it all depends on how his career aligns.
Do you see which one is the bigger fight? You think a Priest fight or a Tucker fight?
Right now, I think for me, Jihad, just because we got
You
a little
breaking
feud
up, champ?
going.
It's
You can hear me?
yeah. You there? Hello? You? All right. Maybe the service. Maybe the service. If you ain't dropped your question for Amari Jones, now is the time. You can do that. We about to get back on track soon as you jump on. You back?
Yeah, you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah. You can ask the question one more time.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let me send
You
you a
hear
new
that, right?
link. Yeah, I hear that. Let me send you a new link. I don't know what's up. Is that a battery issue? When they phones be down? I don't know. Schofield Sr. had that issue earlier. I know it's not me because the same link I send them is the same link my co-hosts have, and they be on a live 7 hours straight. So it's more of an internet issue, I feel like. But if you're watching this on YouTube or X live streaming video, go ahead and retweet, repost, hit that thumbs up, smash it. We got up and coming prospects signed or a contender signed to Golden Boy and with Rick Mirgan. That's a good little breaking news right there. Mirgan is good at what he does, especially giving guys hometown fights. Especially giving guys hometown fights, and hopefully he has that in the cards for Amari. Champ.
Yeah, it sound better.
Way better. What was it? Anyway, don't even
Yeah,
matter.
I don't even know.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you asked that question one more time though.
yes, what is the bigger fight to you, Jihad Tucker or Eric Priest right now?
Right now, I would say Jihad, just because we kind of got a feud already going, But I think Eric Priest kind of like model look, maybe that can probably sell a little bit. But like I said, I don't know. I think Jihad right now for sure.
For sure. Looks like Rod in LA says,
Jihad's just a bum.
You think he a bum?
He's just a bum. I don't know. He's just a bum.
But what makes him a bum?
Guy fights.
He got that Emmanuel Augustus style. That shit working for him.
Oh, man, I don't want to hear that shit.
It's non-traditional because his hand's not up. Is that what bothers you?
That don't bother me at all. But it's the man at a bump. Come on, everyone sees this, man.
Wow. But he beat your man. How he a bum? He beat Truck. Truck supposedly a gym legend with the power.
You know, Chuck has, he's strong, but I mean, knockouts like one punch knockouts. Does Chuck have? Like, you know what I mean?
The audio messing up again, Amari. I don't know what's up on there on your end. Maybe it's internet.
What?
Sound a little bit robotic. Try and speak again. Yeah, now we don't even hear you. Let me refresh, make sure. Yeah, well, actually, I got one more question from Stock Chasers. You back?
Yeah, you hear me?
It sound good now. Let's see how long it lasts. I got one more, though, from Stock Chasers. He says, what's good, Amari? How was your time with Devin Haney? And what you learned during your time with him? Thanks and best of luck, my brother.
You can repeat that question one more time.
He said, what's up, Amari? How was your time with Devin Haney, and what did you learn from your time with him? Thanks and best of luck, my brother.
When I got with Dev, Dev showed me how to work hard. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say I didn't work hard before, but it was a different level, especially coming into the pros and everything. Definitely doesn't leave no stone unturned. That dude works the hardest I've seen in probably any sport. You can put him up against the best when it comes to working hard. So definitely I would say that's probably a big thing that I learned from being around them.
Word. So what would you say was the issue? Why y'all not cool together no more? What's going on?
I'm gonna leave it at this, right? So no disrespect to Bill or Devin or nothing like that. This is blatantly what happened, and everybody pretty much seen it. Devin had to fight with Ryan, and he lost the fight, and I felt I got put on the back burner, and that's just because they was dealing with stuff they had to deal with for Devin. But me as a fighter and needing to still get moved and pushed, it was no communication between my side and theirs. So it just left me stuck wondering for weeks, for months, you know what I mean, with no answers, no next step, no plan or nothing. And I was just left out to dry, I felt. You know what I mean? And so like I said, it wasn't really no communication, and I just had to do what I had to do for me and my family. And this is how I make my money. This is how I live. So I had to just do what I had to do as a man.
Have y'all spoken since?
I mean, kind of a little bit after. I told him how I felt, about the situation, but none as of recently.
Damn.
But I'm more than appreciative of anything that happened that they did for me in my career. Up until we split ways, and also like I said, there's no disrespect. It's still all love with them guys. But I just feel like I gotta do what I have to do for me and my family.
For sure. Nah, I definitely understand that, man. I actually was talking about something similar to that concerning you, saying that, it would have been nice of them to let you fight every 2 times that Devin fight, but also get you 2 more fights, because a prospect needs to fight at least 4 times 3 times,
No,
until
for
you
sure.
develop into that contender stage. So yeah, they was giving you the big stage, fighting on his
Yeah.
cards, but whenever he wasn't fighting, you needed to remain active. So I understand for sure, man. Listen, this ain't a team sport. It's your
No, for sure.
career.
No, for sure. But guys, especially right now with the media and everybody seeing what's going on. People, I see the comments. People saying, "Oh, he's a snake for that," and and I was wrong for doing that. But it's just like at the end of the day, nobody know what actually goes on. So it's people just speaking on it and not knowing what's going on. They just be quiet because like I said, it's a lot more to it, and I'm leaving a lot of stuff out. Of course, I'm just giving y'all the basic and the obvious that actually happened. And like I said, a lot of people ask me this question, so it's not like it's a hidden thing. And even Devin disconnected from the whole world at a point. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like he disconnected from me, and without telling me what was going on. So man, it was just like I said, I do have to do as a man. So if people don't respect that, then they must not be real men at the end of the day.
I hope this ain't a corny question, man, because
Yeah.
I'm genuinely genuinely curious.
Yeah.
What do you do with the chains now? You had like 2 chains.
I still got him. Devin, no, and just because we're not doing business together, that doesn't mean I don't have no love for him or like, in a sense, not cool. We might not have talked, but if I see Devin right now, it's all love. It's not no love lost. It's none of that. So it's like, man, Bill, Dev, even the whole family, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not no love lost. As a business standpoint, sometimes you can't mix friends with business. And that's just how it is. Everybody knows that. Not even just boxing. Everybody knows you. Sometimes you can't mix family with business. But man, it's just like I said, it's just how it goes. But I still got my chains though.
For sure, for sure. Man, I just had one on the edge of my head. Lord of mercy. I'm gonna get to these. I think that was actually the last one. Man, I just had one. Lord, something you said triggered me. I'm refreshing here. We got H-Town that says, now that you're with a real promotional company, are you excited to finally get a chance to be on a big stage? What a hater.
I don't want to answer that.
Word. Look, see? We got another one from Mr. Savage says, are you in the Devin camp still? You just answered that, especially with Dev, Beaver, Oscar. Okay. Maybe I should read it. He says, are you and the Devin camp still in communications, especially with Devin, quote unquote, beef with Oscar and choosing to sign with Golden Boy?
I mean, I still talk to a lot of people, from the camp. But that beef, I mean, don't got nothing to do with me. It's not,
Word. Oh, that's
it's
a
just
fact.
business. It's not the street. This is business.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Listen, those are all the questions, champ. I appreciate you, man. Congratulations. Thank you for answering the tough questions and letting the people know. You're saying 3 months. That's wild.
Like I said, I'm not too. It might be
you
sooner.
just fought
It might
too.
be.
You just
I
fought.
just
How
fought
was
in
that
May.
fight?
I was good. It was good. It was good. I felt good. It felt good to be back. Had a little ring rush. It's my first time, like I had that long of a layoff. So definitely felt the ring rush, but nah, definitely I've been back in the gym already. I'm ready to go. Honestly, now, like So let's just see what they got planned. I'm hoping they put me on the biggest card they got coming up. So like I said, I'm just waiting for them to give me a call.
All right, champ. Well, we're locked in with you, man. The minute you find out something, let me know. And again,
It's all good.
congratulations on the signing and the manager. That's a good manager, man. I hope he does what he did for Jose Ramirez and Virgil Ortiz. Who else did he have in that Fresno area? He was helping move.
I think
The kid from
Gabe
Stockton.
Flores.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Gabe.
man. He did really good for people, man. Who, if you got the
Yeah.
fan base, he gonna make it happen for you. So salute.
Nah, definitely. That's definitely why I felt Rick was a good choice for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he's from California, got a lot of connections in California, so like I said, it's taking off now.
Yeah, man. Shout out, man. You got a big team now.
Yeah,
Got a
yeah, for
good
sure,
team
for
with
sure.
Virgil. You now Rick, Golden Boy. You set up for
Yeah,
greatness. You just gotta go ahead and achieve it.
oh yeah, that's the goal right now.
Well, give out that social media chant for anybody that isn't following. You can do so.
Follow me on Instagram, official Amari Jones, and follow me on Twitter at Prince Amari 20. All
All right, champ. Appreciate you.
right, thank you, Ness.
Oh, thank you, man. Keep doing your
All
thing.
right,
There you have it, ladies and
yes,
gentlemen. Amari Jones. We are taking callers. If you haven't had an opportunity to call in and voice your opinion on the subject, now is the time. We got Alex Vega.
Yo, can you hear me?
We hear you.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed by him not pushing to be on one of their upcoming cards. Maybe there's more reason. Maybe he's not fully healthy. Maybe he's got something else going on. But yeah, I was hoping to see him on our August 2nd card. Um, yeah, it was funny to listen to you guys' matchmaking. I mean, this kid is what, 22, 23 years old, right?
He is listed at 23.
Yeah, so he's a young man, and I mean, doesn't seem like he's in a big rush. So when people start mentioning, Kyron Davis and guys like that, it definitely makes me chuckle. I mean, it's pretty obvious because he's so young. Maybe it depends on how they view him. Do they see him as, he may not like this, as a Charles Conwell, or do they see him as this Floyd Schofield, a guy they can build around? I think it's pretty obvious what you do is you throw in some former Jahai Tucker opponents. Maybe I don't know, the guy that he fought before Truck. I forgot the dude's name. Or someone like the dude that fought Ian Green, the dude from Toledo, Roy, what's his name? Behringer. Do you
Hey,
build up the
yo.
Eric Priest fight? You have him
Yo,
fight
you're
Tyler
an
Howard.
asshole, bro. Do you get a check for being sarcastic?
What do you mean?
Bro, I just noticed your tweet 7 minutes ago. Hilarious. You're such an instigator. Bro,
What you mean,
did he
man?
respond to you?
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Yo, Zorro de la Vega is gonna say middleweight. Yo, the way you wrote it to the sarcasm of this man. He put middleweight prospect Amari Jones states he does not have any idea who future Hall of Fame boxing savant since 1991. He tagged Rick Glazier, who was the matchmaker for his bout. Yo, you are nasty. Oh man, I can't wait to see Rick. Yo, if he
Shout out
responds.
Ricky. I've never watched Amari, but I like how he carries himself. I saw his amateur record, so he seems like he definitely has very good base to come out from. So yeah, I'll definitely be keeping an eye out. And then you mentioned it, he's fought in different countries, Equatorial Guinea, which is not a well-developed country. So that can't be easy. Australia, to go to enemy territory, being part of Team Haney, where I'm sure there was some hostility. They probably did the best they could to keep Devin and obviously the team as focused as it could. So those are good building blocks. He's a multiple time national champion, and he beat Omari Jones, who became an Olympian in the amateurs, and Vito. Oh, no, actually, he lost to him. He beat Vito Milnecki when they were kids. So maybe that's another fight they can build up, not just the Jahai fight, but the Vito fight. Hey, maybe Vito's last opponent they can try to put on their short list. So yeah, middleweight, it's there for the taking. Even him being so young, in a couple of years you could be there in the title shot, and the Johnny Becks, they may be gone. You might have to deal with Yo-Yo, but Shane Mosley might be at 168, or who knows. My point is it might be clear, no Lotta anymore. So we'll see what Amari Jones goes from here. All right, man. Appreciate the time.
No worries. Yo, oh, Chenko.
Hey, shout out TBV. Shout out Amari Jones, East Bay Area legend, Oakland legend. That's right. Yeah, he has a young career, but this is the boxing game, bro. You get it how you get it. And he impressed me in his recent bout against Kyle. I'm probably gonna butcher the last name, Lamotli. He dropped him in that fight. It looked good. He went all the way to Africa. Um, it looks like it was in some sort of French. Fuck, I might be way off, but that the fighter that he went against, he looked like he was some sort of French descent, and that region of Africa looked like more French colonies or whatever you want to call it. So he was in enemy territory. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. And he's doing it, bro. He's doing it. So shout out Amari. I noticed at the end he said 3 months. I didn't really catch that though. Did he say 3 months till he fights? Is that what he said?
Yeah, bro. He said September. Crazy.
Wow, dude.
All
Wow.
right.
That's, as a fan of him, it sucks, bro. I mean, that's how boxing is, right? Like, you get hang out. But look, I don't know how this shit works, but I do know that there is a small market out there. Like for example, if only there was a way where you could get that big fight that Golden Boy's gonna give him in September, and then in between get some sort of like, it could even be a low level fight as long as it's like you're entertaining your home crowd. Because I'm telling you, bro, there's a small market out here that's untapped and just waiting for a superstar. And I'm hoping it's gonna be him, and yeah, and I know how boxing is. Like, it's hard. You can't really. They don't give you that flexibility to go do your own little indie shows and all that type of shit. But I don't know if you could somehow work it in that contract and somehow make it happen. Trust me, there is a small market out there, and they're ready to fucking watch his fights. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Shout out TBV. Shout out Amari. We're gonna keep being tapped in, bro. Let's go.
All right, champ. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you're watching this on X live streaming video, it is free to hit that retweet, repost. That's how we're going to get new callers, new viewers. In the future, they could turn into callers, man. Yeah, man. Phone lines are open if you want to call in. Now is the time. We got Matt with the $2 super chat. He says, TBV, at least he gives them a shot into the boxing world. Who are we talking about? Oscar? Okay. We got Hook Like Berlanga, $2. G-Boy is for West Coast Mexicans. Bad fit. I don't even know what he means. What is this? Yo, Edgar funny as hell. Edgar posted this and said, the one time Oscar tried to offer me coca. So he said he was dodging a coke. And he's putting his fucking head movement. Hey, yo. Edgar is too funny, bro. Yo, Ring Nasty work for posting that, too. Talking about Edgar Berlanga has some serious speed with the flash emoji. Let's go, Champ. Yo, it's the Champ. Last call for callers. If you're trying to call in now is the time. Last call for callers. Last call for callers. Phone lines are open. Phone lines are open. All right. Looks like that's a wrap. Shout out to Amari. Shout out to Zepeda. They left us flat yet again. Hey, man. So no Zepeda. Yes, Alex, no Zepeda. He's it's his people's. Obviously, you know, we have had him on in the past, but you know, translation. They need translators. They need, you know, they're in different time zones. You know, it is what it is, bro. We gonna keep trying. Look, we still trying to get Lester on, man. All the bilingual, not bilingual, all the Spanish speaking fighters have been very difficult to get because, you know, you're going through their teams. You know, you're going through their teams because of the, you know, language. I can talk to him. Me and Lester talking directly, but he's just always busy, bro. Like, he be literally answering like, "Oh, no, I'm about to walk into the gym," or "We training at that time." So it's like, and then he's one of those guys that I can get on a spontaneous tip, but I don't have a 24-hour, you know, translator on deck. But yeah, man, that's GTO, Instagram and Twitter. If you really want to get in touch with me, make sure you DM me at ThaBoxingVoice. We right back at it tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Whoa, whoa. Stock chasers. I was about to dip. I was about to be out. Stock chasers. Stock chasers.
Yo, what's good, Ness? You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Nah, this gonna be a short one, bro. I know you about to head out. Yo, so were you able to get in contact with Puello's team, or they still holding on to that time slot?
Yeah, they stuck on that slot, bro. If they ain't moving from
Damn.
that slot, there's really nothing I can do.
Damn, that's nasty work, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's nasty work.
Regis too.
All right, bro.
Regis want me to go to the gym tomorrow. It's like, bro, we trying to do podcast interviews.
Hey, yo, Regis, my man's, bro. You heard? You go check Regis, bro. Regis doing good work out there, man. Try to check Regis, bro. But I know that shit hard for you, bro. All right, Brody. Have a good night.
All right.
All right.
Bro, I ain't even go to the Barrios Media workout. That was Saturday. I'm like, that's too much. That's why I need a Vegas guy, bro. Because I'm always going to be in the studio. All right. Now that it is over. Peace.